player of the CIAA champion bowling team. Come forward. Ms. Carter will present on the Flame of Faith, followed by the Bowie Men Ignite. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Diamond Carter, and I am a senior computer technology major from Buffalo, New York, and also a member of the women's bowling team here at Bowie State. I'd first like to thank the Lord for waking us all up this morning, allowing us to see a beautiful day, and bringing everyone out to this event. I'd also like to thank Dr. Barreau, Dr. Briscoe, and the administrative staff for allowing my teammate and I to speak at this Founders Day event. And most of all, I'd like to say Happy Founders Day to everyone in attendance today. The theme of my speech today is Flame of Faith. The definition of faith is to have complete trust or confidence in someone or something. My journey to Bowie was one that tested my faith immensely. Being from Buffalo, New York, coming to Bowie State University in Maryland was a tremendous leap. In 2015, as I was making my decision as to where I wanted to continue to further my education, I struggled quite a bit. The tuition in New York State is free if you're an in-state student. So the decision to move and go to school out of state was based solely on the fact that I didn't just want to go to school, but I also wanted to continue my bowling career. I visited a lot of different schools during my college search that were in-state and also out of state, but none of them felt like home. Bowie State was the first school that I visited that welcomed me with open arms, as if everyone had known me for years. I had faith and prayed every night for the Lord to guide my decision for the better. I prayed that I would be able to go to college and also continue bowling. And because of my decision to take a chance based on faith, here I am today. Bowie State blessed me with a full ride and a spot on the bowling team. Having faith has led my teammates and I to continuing a legacy by winning 9 consecutive division titles and 5 consecutive CIAA conference championships. Faith held my teammates and I together when we had differences and disagreements during the practices or at tournaments. Faith also held our heads high when all the odds were stacked against us. The moral of the story of my journey is where there is no faith, there is no progress. So it doesn't matter what you have faith in or what you believe in. Just have faith in something that you're passionate about, and you can achieve anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. And if you have not seen our Bowie bowling team play, you compete. These are tough ladies. These are really tough, wonderful, outstanding student athletes. Please give our champions another round of applause. Earlier today, I had the honor of meeting some very special individuals. They're members of the families of loved ones we have lost. Earlier I mentioned the loss of 2 individuals to the Bowie State University family. I would now like to announce to you the names of those who have passed during this year, in addition to the names I mentioned earlier. Beginning with Dr. Rufus Barfield, former Bowie State College president from 1978 to 1982. This morning I greeted the family of Ms. Kiara Coates, freshman biology major in the Department of Natural Sciences. I would ask that her family now stand if they are still present, so that we may acknowledge you at this time. Thank you, may God bless you, and will you always remember, I hope you will always remember that you are part of our BSU family. Thank you all for being here today. Ms. Vianella Fernandez, former Financial Aid Advisor, Division of Enrollment Management. Ms. Brianne Gannon, sophomore criminal justice major. Ms. Darnisha Johnson, class of 2017, and former president of the BSU Public Relations Student Society of America. Dr. Wien Liu, Functional and PeopleSoft Security Analyst, Division of Information Technology. Mr. William Ridley Randolph, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Other Drugs Prevention Center, former Assistant Director. The family, there are members of the family who are here with us today. Please rise and please raise your hand so we might acknowledge you at this time. Thank you for being here today. Dr. Rita Robinson, Faculty, Department of Counseling, College of Education. Mr. John Sidney Shepard Sr., Class of 1947, BSU National Alumni Association and former President of the association. His family is with us today. Please rise so we might acknowledge you at this time. Dr. Richard Sterling, Professor of French, Department of Language, Literature, and Cultural Studies, College of Arts and Sciences. And finally, but certainly not the least, a beloved member of the BSU community, Ms. Barbara Wilkinson, long-term food services employee, Sodexo and Thompson Hospitality. Would the family please stand to be recognized at this time? Thank you, one and all. Thank you, as I said to you earlier this morning when I first greeted you. Once a bulldog, always a bulldog. You are a member of this family, and we invite you to come back and continue to be part of the very fabric of Bowie State University. Thank you for allowing your loved ones to be part of our family. You are family now, henceforth and forever. So please keep coming back. Homecoming is in the fall. We'll look back and look forward to having you at homecoming. Thank you for being here. Please give another round of applause. And now we will have a special musical selection presentation by the Bowie State University Gospel Choir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Cole. I am a junior business administration student concentrated in marketing, and I am a member of Ignite.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Derek Player, a junior digital media major, and I'm a member of Ignite as well. Before the musical selection, we would like to do a short little tribute to a very special guest on stage with us. He's our mentor, a friend, somebody who's always been there for us. So we put together a little video for Cozy. If you don't mind joining us on stage up here.
We've always been the type of person to always motivate us.
You really had a huge impact on my life.
For helping me be in the main line today, you have played a key role in that.
You've been a guide to help me become a part of something bigger than myself.
And you've helped me become a better person than I was when I was high school, through Ignite, and everything that you told me and everything that I've learned from you helped me try to become a better man, and I think that I'm a different person who I was before. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Cozy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cozy. Continue to be great.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to get everybody on the video, so instead we got them here to say thank you in person. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. If you could stand real quick, I think we want to get a quick picture, and then we'll get to the musical selection.
I'm part of history already.
We will now hear a musical selection from our gospel choir entitled Total Praise. Oh my goodness. Please give our gospel choir another round of applause. That was wonderful. Oh my. Professor Wren does an outstanding job in our choir. This is what gets me up every day, getting in here, doing as much as I can. Thank you all for your support of these outstanding, talented students that we have on the campus at Bowie State University. I couldn't be more thrilled. And if you missed it this year, this choir, our Bowie State University choir, was on the Steve Harvey show this year. If you didn't get a chance to see it, do the YouTube. You gotta see them. Give them another round of applause. We need to get the word out more and more about the excellence that we have here among our students, our faculty, our staff. We have great examples of excellence across this campus. It is now my pleasure to have a member of the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity, Inc. come forward to introduce our keynote speaker.
Good morning. My name is Kawan Kelly Gilmore, a junior business administration major with a concentration in management, and we are the brothers of the Untitled Chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Mr. Dwayne M. Cozy is a proud May 2016 graduate of Bowie State University, where he earned a Bachelor in Science degree in Communications Public Relations. Cozy as he is, affectionately called, spent his time at Bowie being a part of the culture of influence and change. In his time at Bowie State, he served as president of multiple student organizations, a member of the Judicial Board, and intern with the Office of Student Affairs. Cozy continues to serve Bowie State as the volunteer coordinator for the Curriculum and Culture for Ignite, a male leadership and development initiative which he aimed at defining the culture of the campus through the men of the campus. In that role, he is responsible for the design and facultation of weekly leadership training and empowerment sessions, as well as service activities, retreats, and other activities which build brotherhood and foster positive emotional health, self-awareness, and community investment. Cozy has been honored and recognized for his leadership both on and off campus, including, but not limited to, Bowie State presidential leadership, the Black Male Gender Student Leadership Award, and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated DC Collegiate Member of the Year. In his current role as the Director of Culture and Empowerment and Restorative Justice Coordinator, as well as member of the Culture and Restorative Efforts Team at the newly opened all-boys Ron Brown College Preparatory High School, he tirelessly and passionately serves the young kings by providing support in the way of social-emotional development, personal growth, relationship building, and providing developmental support for sustained holistic health. Cozy has served and continues to serve as a mentor for many young men and is seeking to create a consulting firm which focuses on Black male personal and leadership development. His conviction is that each of our lives' purposes are designed to benefit and develop the purpose of others, and he lives it out through his personal creed, your best you is your only option. Cozy is in the process of publishing his first book, recently co-founded a creative writing and production company, wrote the film Entertainment, and is currently a graduate student of sociology at Morgan State University. His dream is to serve as HBCU president. Cozy is the proud father of son Zion and daughter Jade. He is one of the most committed men I have ever met, and I am proud to introduce to you our amazing Founders Day keynote speaker, Mr. Dwayne M. Cozy. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
Good morning. Oh, come on. Okay, do me a favor. Everybody stand up real quick. Everybody, y'all not going to do this to me this morning. No, you're not. Everybody stand up real quick. Can y'all hear me well? Just go ahead and stretch or do something. Get your blood flowing. How about this? BSU? BSU. Yeah, that's real good. All right, now y'all go and have your seats. Amen. Let's try it again. Good morning. Let's go ahead and let me say this. I've been battling whatever this is since like Friday, so I sound a little funny, but I promise I am the same Cozy. I'm really excited and honored and humbled to be here today. It is always so amazing to me when people invite you to speak, because words carry power and they carry influence and they can shift and change and add to things, or they can tear down and mess things up. And I'm just so ecstatic and humbled again at the opportunity to be a part of giving this occasion and giving this community words. And so I want to thank Dr. Briscoe for such a high esteem of considering me for this opportunity. Thank to the committee, everyone who said yes, and those who did not say no, because those are two different things. So I appreciate that. To President Bro, I honor you. To those who share in the governance of Bowie State University, I honor you. To those who help facilitate her practices and who perform her love, I honor you in this moment. So listen, before I start, I need your help real quick. So I brought 4 of my students with me from Ron Brown College Preparatory High School. Is anyone trying to go into the field of education? Anyone? All right, I'm gonna give you a freebie right here. If you bring your kids with you places, it's a field trip, and you don't have to take off. You gotta teach the people, you gotta help them out. So I brought 4 of my kids with me on this field trip. And I need some help because last week we were in the wake of the untimely death of community developer, philanthropist, father, business and real estate mogul, Nipsey Hussle. I was, yes, climbing up the list. We had an opportunity. I was talking to some of my students. We converge every morning, and we were talking about ways that we wanted to leave our legacies. And one of my students said, in the midst of everyone yelling out all the things that you normally would hear, one of my students yelled out, "Motivational speaker." And I thought that was powerful because quiet as it's kept, I too want to be a motivational speaker when I grow up. And so I said, well, you know what? I feel like this would be a perfect opportunity to show you what your future could look like if you continue to fan the flame of being a motivational speaker. So I know you guys are going to help me because we're family, and I know y'all love me and I love y'all, so y'all going to do this favor for me. I'm going to introduce him as though he is the keynote speaker. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. And what you guys are going to do, you guys are going to give him a glimpse of what his future is going to look like. Y'all with me? Now listen, all these little baby claps y'all been doing all day, like y'all ain't ate this morning or something. We're going to show this young black man what his future could look like if he so chooses to continue to fan the flame and rise to excellence. That's y'all staying right. Fan the flame and rise to excellence. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would do me the kindest favor and help me to honor and celebrate the man of the hour, a man of inspiration, a man of legacy, a man of hope, a man of truth, a man of integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing to you Mr. Malik Claiborne. Malik, stand up. No, this is his future. Wave to the people, man. You gotta wave to the people. Say thank you. Thank you. Y'all are so wonderful. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now let me begin with a disclaimer, which I often have to begin with disclaimers. So for those of you who do not know me, I am a very, very proud alum, of Bowie State University. I love Bowie State very much. It was painful to enroll at Morgan. It's so funny, Dr. Bro. I thought people would be happy for me. And I posted it on my Instagram with my little Morgan. Let me tell you, everybody who didn't go to Bowie State was like, yeah, go ahead, coach, yeah. Everybody who went to Bowie State was like, boo, get out of here. I was like, let's tell you, family be the ones. I have a deep affinity and affection for Bowie. It is unwavering, all right? And in my description of Bowie State, I always refer to her as my mother. I always refer to Bowie as my mother because if you think about what she's done for you and what she's done for me, she is personified as a mother figure. She has took me in and nursed me in some of my socially infantile stages to places of maturity. She's nourished me where I was without nourishment and gave me the things that I needed to sustain my life. She taught me how to walk circumspectly. She gave me footing in places where I was without stability. She built my confidence by lavishing support on me. She enhanced my self-image. She increased my self-worth. She challenged my understanding. She stretched my perspective. She confronted my intolerances. She grew me. And she did so with grace and patience, like a mother. She's chastised me and disciplined me on many occasions when I was wrong, and she celebrated me and honored me in the times when I was right. She's fed me when I was hungry with more Bowie wings than a man ever knew he wanted. I never knew I wanted so many Bowie wings. She's given me more free t-shirts than I have room to fold. She's watched me fall and was there to pick me up. She's given me brothers and sisters. She gave me family I didn't know I needed. And it's through her bloodline because, yes, she has bled for me. It's through her bloodline that I am connected to generations of heroes that have come before me, and I am the progenitor of heroes that will come after me. Legacies that will live on long when Cozy's gone. She's given me her name. She's given me her name, and she's sacrificed for me. And then, having done all that, she launches me into the world and stands back proudly, watching me serve, watching me live, chanting me on. She is my mother, and the truth is, she's y'all's mother too. So would you help me to honor our mother on this, her 154th anniversary of her founding? Come on, give it up for Bowie State University. She deserves it. Now, I said all that to say this. We are family. We might as well be at Big Mama's house in the living room or the front room. I never knew the difference. Gathered around having family conversation. And so when we have family conversation, plastic on the furniture and all. Take your shoes off, don't walk on her carpet. Is that okay if we have some family conversation this morning? I said, is that all right if we have some family talk this morning? So I gave a lot of thought to the thing. I gave a lot of thought to it. I gave a lot of energy, Dr. B, to this theme of fanning the flame and rising to excellence. I gave a lot of thought and effort and consideration to the theme and the audience and the occasion. I sat and I cogitated on this. I mulled it over. What should I say? What should I do with this moment? Because this moment was special and I never have this moment again. So I had to make it count. I had to say the right thing. I had to do the right thing. And then bam, nothing. G, not one thing. You hear what I'm saying? Nothing came to me, G. I was like, can they play something? I don't know. Nothing came. But I knew that nothing wasn't good enough. So when I went back to contemplating and cogitating and considering, because this moment was too big, it was too special, and I never have it again, so I had to make it count. And then I had a thought regarding me having the thought. And my thought was this: Cozy, how come this moment warrants so much intention, so much effort as opposed to other moments? Why is it that we maximize and focus our efforts around moments that we perceive as large, as if purpose only exists when there's a lot of people watching? Why is it that while most of life is lived off stage, we seem to sensationalize moments on stage as if they weigh more? You see, what I recognize in my thinking and in your theme is the principle that made me have all these questions. Fire, flames, they're interesting, right? Because if you add air to fire, it spreads. If you add it intensifies. If I fan a spark, it becomes a flame. If I fan a flame, it becomes a fire. If I fan a fire, it becomes a passion. If I fan a passion, it becomes a part of my purpose. So if oxygen, right, air, it represents energy, it represents life, it represents intention. Your theme, Demystified, is simply saying whatever you give energy to will intensify. And if you give life to it, it'll grow and will ultimately rise something bigger. So I wasn't wrong, y'all. I wasn't wrong for giving careful consideration to this particular moment. But where I was wrong was in this quiet suggestion that only big moments matter. Where I was wrong was this idea that only big moments deserved intention. The truth is, and what I've come to realize, y'all, is that every moment deserves the same level of intense intention. Every moment deserves the same level of effort, because every moment matters. Say that to me. Say, every moment matters. And if this is true, if every moment matters, then what that simply means is that I'm always fanning something. Everything I do, every single moment, big, small, macro, micro, massive, and minute, every moment I breathe, I give life, I give oxygen, I give air, I fan some spark, some flame, some fire, some product of my purpose is being built. Everything I do, the words I say, the conversations I have, the people I engage, the way I love, the way I serve, the way I teach, the way I study, everything we do fans something. So the question of the hour is not if we are fanning. The question of the hour is what? What are you fanning? If we are to fan something that is rising to excellence, then we have to do more than fan together. We've got to fan the same thing. If you came to, if we're working on a project, and you came ready to build a computer, and I came ready to build a house, we can't work together because our aims are different. So it's not just that we are working at the same time, but that we are working on the same things. Y'all with me? So what are those flames then, Cozy? Somebody asked me, say, what should we be fanning? Ask me again. Say, what should we be fanning? I'm glad you asked. Here are my suggestions, and they're just that, because I don't know nothing. Okay. They're just that. They're just suggestions that if we are to reach the pinnacle of our institutional excellence, here are my suggestions to the things we ought to be fanning. First, we have to fan the flame of culture. Somebody yell culture. Culture. Awareness, appreciation, affinity for Bowie State has to happen. I thought about our founders who, in 1865, are faced with this daunting task of trying to create a place for former slaves. Former slaves. They have got to try to redefine a culture of enslavement to a culture of empowerment. That's a big job. The culture of a place is the character of it's what people talk about when they talk about you. It's what people feel. It is who you are. It's who you are. It is the things you're known for. It's the things you don't see but you feel. And when an institution, when a place loses its culture, it loses itself. It loses itself. So culture is to be pervasive, which it is. If it's to be productive, if it's to be purposeful, and it is, then one, it has to be intentional. Someone say intentional. We have to define what Bowie State is, who she is, what she stands for. Now, I know y'all like cozy. We have the 5 core values for that. And yes, we do. But here's my question. What does that mean to you? What does it mean? Right? How do those values, how do they show up and manifest in your day-to-day living on this campus? How do we show up? How do they show up in every classroom and around every conversation and every program? How do we exhibit who we are consistently, cooperatively, in the way of our culture? Culture is not merely what we have printed on paper, but it is what we put into practice. I learned a long time ago at Bowie State, you can't just be paper. All right, culture is the pulse of our school. And it is the heartbeat of who we are. So it has to be intentional. And then consistent. Someone say consistent. It got to be consistent, because an irregular heartbeat causes for things to increase the danger of our health. If our culture isn't consistent from office to office, if our culture isn't consistent from classroom to classroom, from department to department, then we put ourselves in a position of institutional danger. No one on this campus should feel more loved by student affairs than they do by institutional advancement. No one should feel more loved on one side of the road than they do on the other. The love that I get at Bowie State, I should feel it everywhere I go, with every person who bears the name of Bowie State. I should feel it from the president down to Thompson's. I should feel it everywhere I go. Because it's the same. We got to have the same heart. Culture also has to be everywhere. It has to be in every action of every employee, of every day, of every moment. It's not something we do, it's who we are. It's not an act, it's a being. It's in every dorm, it's in every class, it's in every office, it's at the core of every interaction. It's everywhere. So we gotta fan the flame of culture, but also we gotta fan the flame of community. Somebody shout community. You gotta give life to the people you serve. Let me say that again. You have to give life to the people you serve. And here is why. Here is why, and this is for everyone, right? Not just professors and deans and administrators, but students and staff and security. You gotta build the people you serve, because the truth is, at HBCUs, you are the people you serve. We cousins and nephews and aunties. Somebody in every office remind me of somebody in my family. Everybody. Y'all the same way too, don't do that to me. When HBCUs were founded, when Bowie State, more to the point, when Bowie State was founded, y'all, they were established to educate former slaves. Hear me. Hear this, y'all. Former slaves. These are people snatched from their land, ripped from their families, robbed of their traditions, their identities, their religion, their language, their culture. They've been savaged, they've been raped, they've been beaten, they've been starved, they've been overworked, they've been undervalued, they've been killed. These are the people who were strong but were broken. HBCUs exist as a place, a hub for broken people. One of the great philosophers of our time, Jeremiah Cole, put it this way. Too many brothers in cycles of jail, spending their birthdays inside of a cell. We coming from a long bloodline of trauma. We raised by our mamas. Lord, we gotta heal. We hurting our sisters, the babies as well. We killing our brothers, they poison the well. Distorted self-image, we set up to fail. I'ma make sure that the real gonna prevail. Here's the truth. Stats show this. That black children have been identified as having the most engagement and experience with childhood trauma of all demographics in America. 98% of our campus are black children. We're broken, but that's the beauty of our mother. She welcomes the broken. We're hurting, and we're traumatized. And she welcomes us to spend 4 and 5 years with her. And when they leave, they are still broken, hurting, and traumatized, but grieved, then we have done a great disservice. We've missed the point. Our founders not only had to educate former slaves, but they had to uneducate former slaves. They had to uneducate them from mindsets of oppression. People who thought they were ugly because of their skin, who were told they weren't even a whole person by the government. People who were told they weren't able to be educated because of their color, that they were less than, the lowest class, an aberration. Now think about what some of our students come in here feeling. Think about what society has thrown on them to identify as. Think about the lies they're being sold. Think about the distorted images they hold about their beauty and their self-worth, the false ideas they hold about their identity. And if you for 1 second think, because we make them dress up on Wednesdays, or for 1 second think because they run a real nice campaign, if you for 1 second think because they are dean's listing and alternative spring breaking and serving in our organizations that they aren't broken, you will forfeit the opportunity you have to give life to their true selves. The beauty of the HBCU, the beauty of Bowie State is that we get to love those who need it the most. We aren't just historically black colleges and universities, we are healing black colleges and university. And lastly, after we fan our flame of culture and fan our flame of community, we got to fan the flame of cause. Somebody say cause. There is a popular social media hashtag when it comes to HBCUs, and it says, "I love my HBCU." Y'all ever seen that one? I say y'all ever seen that one? Y'all gonna talk to me, I'm talking to y'all. Talk back. That's rude. That's just crazy. It's crazy how people do that. I love y'all. I love my HBCU. How many of y'all would say I love my HBCU? Show of hands. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a good number of y'all. Can I tell you what I think though? I don't know much. But let me. Here's what I surmise. I think people have confused love with being in love. Can we talk for a second in Grandma's house in the front room? Yeah, you know, love and fix a relationship gone wrong right over in love. It's a state, as its name would suggest. It means you exist with anything. It's a feeling. Somebody say feeling. Love, though, not necessarily a feeling. It's an action. Truth is, you don't always feel like loving. I'm gonna leave that alone. When we talk about in love, we're talking about this feeling, this obsession, this possession, this elation, this infatuation, something that someone, right, that brings these feelings over me that cause me to want to be in this thing. And because I like the way I feel with you when I'm with you, I want to be with you. And I like the way I feel when we talk, I want to talk to you. And because I like the way I feel, but what happens when I don't feel that way no more? This is why love is a response. In love is a response as a feeling, which is why people fall out of love when things don't feel good. But love isn't feeling based. It is a response and an action based on obligation, and it is obligation based on the understanding of the cause or the heart of a thing. I was a pretty good kid, but I know there were times my mama didn't like me. But her not liking me didn't stop her from feeding me. Her not liking me didn't make her walk out, because mom loved me. I may not like you right now, but your cause to me, your heart to me is bigger than what I feel right now. So though the card office kind of threw me off and financial aid messed some up and conference services can't seem to get it right because I love you, I ain't finna blast you on social media and act like we not friends no more. I am obligated to love you. I'm obligated to love you. So what does this mean, Cozy? How do we get from fanning the flame to love? I got you. So HBCUs are being shut down and closed and losing their accreditation at alarming rates. And if we don't fan the flame of our cause, our heart, all we will have left of Bowie State is precious memories. Our cause is not simply the education of black students, but the preservation of all things black. No one else can do what we do in the way we do it. Towson is cool. It ain't Bowie State. College Park is all right. It ain't no Bowie State though. Huh? The reason why HBCUs are still relevant is because our cause is still relevant. Black oppression is still relevant, so we gotta still be relevant. White privilege is still relevant, so we gotta still be relevant. Systemic oppression is still relevant. Black unresolved trauma is still relevant. Disparities in black economics are still relevant. Implicit bias in education is still relevant. Racism is still relevant, so we gotta still be relevant. We gotta fan the flame of our cause. As long as black boys are still being criminalized, we gotta keep rising to excellence. As long as black women are being over-sexualized and told that they're too loud or too aggressive or too mad, we gotta keep rising to excellence. As long as black children are being called ugly because of their skin or their hair texture, we have to keep fanning the flame and rising to excellence. As long as black boys still believe that the only way out is with a ball in their hand or a mic, we have to keep rising to excellence. As long as those in the LGBTQ community are still mistreated and unloved, we must still rise to excellence. As long as we live, as long as black lives, we must still fan the flames. And in doing this together, corporately, fanning the same flames, giving the same life, the same energy, the same intentionality to moments like these and those that we'll never see on large stages. If we keep doing that, then we will reach the place of excellence where we so rightfully belong. God bless you.
Outstanding, outstanding. Mr. Cozy, thank you for those inspiring words, for making your mark in the history of Bowie State University on this 154th anniversary of our Founders Day. Please come forward for just another moment. I would like to present you with a token of our appreciation for you being here today, each day that you are with our youth and our community in the Ron Brown College Preparatory School. I'm ready to enroll. If you took women, I'd be back here. Thank you for inspiring another generation, reaching back, bringing people behind you, our students who are here today. I'm inspired by your message, and thank you so very much for being a part of BSU and putting the message out there for all to see that we are rising and we will continue to rise. Please give him another round of applause. On behalf of BSU, Bowie State University, and our entire campus community, it's my honor and privilege to present you with this plaque as a small token of our appreciation and esteem for all of your contributions to the generations today and tomorrow. Thank you so very much.
BSU, BSU, BSU.
Thank you for that impromptu. I would love it, love it. We will now hear a musical selection from our concert band. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bennett, and thank you to our band, and thank you to all who contributed to today's event. We thank you so very much for your presence here today. I'd like to bring to your attention in your programs the Dean's List, as well as the honor and professional societies for their outstanding accomplishments throughout this year. As we close out today's program, once again, thank you to the organizing committee for the Founders Day celebration. And please make sure you come back to celebrate on Commencement Day, May 17th, our graduates, who we will celebrate and honor on that beautiful day, bringing back the commencement ceremonies to our campus at Bowie State University. Please now rise as we have the Vsu Gospel Choir come forward in the singing of the alma mater, and then we will be led by the Vsu Gospel Choir and remain standing for the retiring of the colors and the closing by Ms. Bowie State University, Monique Scott. Thank you. Please rise.
There's a crowd
Left. Left. Left turn. Mark. Color guard. Halt. Retrieve. The colors. Right turn. Mark. Left. 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 Forward. Mark. Left. Left. Left.
You guys can be seated. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to do something a little different. Is that okay?
Yes,
all right. So something that I've always preached during my reign was that I never needed a sash or a crown to define who I am or me as a queen. So today I'm just going to speak to you as Monique Scott. All right, so good morning again. As we bring this Founders Day convocation to a close, I want everyone to reflect on the sentiments from each of our platform guests. We are celebrating 154 years of excellence, strength, and pride. We, as students, faculty, staff, and administrators, have the power to make Bowie's culture whatever we want it to be. In our 154th year, how will we define our culture so that Bowie elevates from being the hidden gem, as my King Durante Craig says? Bowie is a small campus, but we are the biggest delegation who shows up wherever we travel. Our pride and support of one another is what makes other schools take notice of us. I challenge you all to go home today and think about what you can do as an individual to take Bowie to the next level. And by the 155th Founders Day convocation, you should have a list of tasks that you've completed and the legacy that you've left to make our institution the best that it can be. Thank you for attending today's convocation.
This now concludes our ceremony. Thank you all for coming out. There are refreshments outside. Have a glorious day. Thank you for coming out today.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for BSU's 154th Founders Day celebration. Fanning the flames, we rise towards excellence. How about a round of applause? And thank you again for this historical moment from Bowie State University being streamed around the world.